All right, once again, it's Twisted Nightmare Gaming. We got CJ over here. We got Alex over there. You got anything you want to say to him off the top?
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell. Hit it twice, 3 times, because if you hit it twice, it'll screw you. Hit it 3 times. So you keep, yeah. You know what it is.
What's going to happen if they don't hit that bell?
I'll personally come to your house and drop kick you in the ankle. The left ankle.
Why the left ankle?
Because me and the right one ain't got no beef, man.
All right, CJ. So what we got today, man? What we got? I know we got 2 names for this deck. So we're gonna let you hit him with your name,
right.
And then we're gonna let Alex hit him with his name for.
My name's kind of like the headline of a newspaper that goes, "Giant Toads invade National Poison Control."
Also known as CJ's asshole deck number 378.
There you go.
Another way it works. All right, so our star of the deck is 1 copy of a Rangaroo. Just 1. What does he do? So, we got resource management for any energy. I can put 3 cards from my discard pile on the bottom of my deck in any order. So, I have an infinite deck. I'll explain that. We'll get to that. We never use Profane Knowledge. I've never ever used that attack in my life with this deck. I will never ever use that attack. We have 4 Seismitoads. EX. Oh, by the way, this is an expanded deck. So you'll notice we have EXs in here, because they're good. Alright, so, what's the good thing about Seismitoad? So he's got 180 HP, that's pretty standard for a Pokemon EX. He's got 3 retreat costs, that's pretty big, not really too happy about that. A weakness to grass, which means that Vespiquen completely destroys his deck. But, if we get past all the weaknesses, he's got a strength. Quaking Punch, for a double colorless energy. I can do 30 damage, and my opponent can't play any item cards from his or her hand during his or her next turn. So that's great because my opponent can't play any items, and I'm putting a little bit of damage forward, 30 damage. However, you're going to see we have a way to amplify this damage to a lot, to at least over 100 most times.
Usually.
Yeah. So, yeah. We're never going to use Grenade Hammer because it requires water energy. That's just bad. We're not going to run any water energy. We're not going to run any basic energy. This deck runs 4 energy, by the way. But we'll get to that soon.
Only 4?
Only 4.
Sweet Jesus, CJ, you're a madman.
We play Force Seviper because I love Team Rocket. I'm just playing.
Seviper!
Seviper has an ability called More Poison. Put 1 more damage counter on your opponent's poison Pokemon between turns. So if I poison someone, they're going to take an extra damage counter. Normally they take 1. So if they're poisoned and I Quaking Punch, that's 40 damage. With 1 Seviper, it's 50, 60, 70, 80 damage. Okay, now we see where it's going to come into play. We're never going to use Venomous Fang because it requires a basic energy. It requires a psychic energy, and that's just garbage. We're not going to do that. 100
Again,
HP.
folks, he only runs 4 energy in this entire deck, apparently.
100 HP on this basic Pokemon's pretty solid. I like 100 HP. That's good. Psychic weakness, pretty bad. 2 retreat cost is pretty bad. You notice that everyone's got like a 2 and 3 retreat cost. We're gonna buff that out later on with some really broken expanded cards that should never be reintroduced to our game again. We're on a 1/1 line of Dragalge. So this guy's attack requires Psychic, so we're never going to use it. But he's got 50 HP, and that's cool. I also got a retreat cost of 1 and Psychic weakness. We're just using him to evolve the Dragalge, though. Dragalge's ability says your opponent's poison Pokemon can't retreat. So if you're poisoned, you're not retreating. Fairy weakness doesn't really matter because he's a stage 1 with 100 HP. I just showed you a basic with 100 HP, so his HP is incredibly small. Retreat cost of 1. I mean, yeah, they can't retreat. So now they're poisoned. They're taking, what, 40 damage from 50 damage from poison a turn, and they can't retreat. Okay? So we're getting there. You're starting to see that we're starting to lock our opponent's board down. We run 2 copies of Tapu Lele for the Wonder Tag ability. And boy, do we use this 4 or 5, 6, sometimes even 7 times a game. Like, this is great. I'm going to show you how that works with this deck. This deck's all about looping and sequencing. Her energy drive attack for double colorless energy is 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to her and the opponent Pokemon. You're going to see that this deck is actually promoting the use of the energy drive attack because it probably outputs the most damage in this deck as an attack. So hey, there you go. It works. And we get the awesome Wonder Tag ability. Basic Pokemon with 170 HP, only 10 less than Seismitoad. We can deal with it. Retreat cost of 1's good. No weakness, no resistance. That's another reason why we kind of
So
like
basically what he just said is Tapu Lele does the damage in this deck.
which is awesome. So then, for supporters, we run 2N. Okay, for those of you not up on expanded,
What does N do?
makes me and my opponent. We both shuffle our hand into our deck, count the amount of prize cards we have, and then draw that many cards after we shuffle. So if you got one prize card left and you're about to win the game, I can take your whole hand away and give you just one card. Sometimes with this deck, I don't even take prizes, because then I can play in and shuffle draw 6 for myself and watch my opponent only shuffle draw 1 or 2. And then they just get stuck. So it's great. So you're starting to see this deck's all about kind of sticking the opponent in a
It's
favorable
the
situation.
Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of a stun deck.
Yeah. One copy of Chorus. I shuffle my hand in my deck, then I draw a card for each benched Pokemon in play. Now Skyfield's really popular and expanded. And if my opponent has 8 benched Pokemon due to Skyfield and I have 5, I'm drawing 13 cards from Chorus, which is absolutely nuts. We only run one of them because early game is kind of bad. We run 3 copy of Professor Sycamore. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. I don't care what I discard. The reason why is because this guy will get it all back. So we don't care what we discard, we just discard it. We just draw our fresh 7 cards. Probably the best draw supporter in that's ever been printed. Run 1 copy of Teammates, because I expect my stuff to get knocked out. And when it does, if I play Teammates, I can search my deck for any 2 cards I want and put them in my hand, which is great. I can get any 2 cards that I need to solve the situation at hand at this moment. You can ask this dude, I played this card like 4 or 5 times against him in a single game and just kept getting all the cards I needed out of my deck.
Every single one.
So, Teammates allows you to get through the deck efficiently. Skyla, search your deck for an item card. We run Skyla because of 1 card. It's called Computer Search. So Skyla allows you to go search your deck for any trainer card. I'm going to go get Computer Search. Computer Search says discard 2 cards, search your deck for any card you want. And then Oranguru puts them both back in the deck, and I can keep cycling that and getting exactly the card I want for free. And 2 cards I want for free there. Team Flare Grunt. Discard an energy attached to my opponent's active Pokemon, which is just absolutely bullshit. Like, it's like, I got this guy charged up and ready to go, and you're like, and now you don't. So I love this card. It's so troll. Rerun 3 copies of Acerola. Now we run Acerola because we can put one of our damaged Pokemon back into our hand, which means when they hit Tapu Lele and deal some damage to her, I Acerola her up, put her back down, Wonder Tag for something else I need for the next turn, attach my DCE and swing again, and I just keep doing that loop pattern. So we run 3 Acerola to promote that. Sometimes use it on Seismitoad. I've used it on Oranguru before, and I think I've used it on Sevipers before. So Acerola is just generally a pretty great card in this deck. Just your opponent can't stick any damage on the board. Run 1 copy of Lysander. All it does is switch, allows you to choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and just make it their active Pokemon. So I can put up a high retreat cost Pokemon that doesn't have any energy, that requires a lot of energy to attack, stick it there, poison it, and just watch it melt and burn down until it dies.
Don't want to move yourself back.
And Guzma. Play 1 copy of Guzma. So
Why only one of this one this time around? Because I know you normally play like 2, sometimes 3.
exactly, because
And in rare occasions, I've seen you do a full boat of 4.
we have expanded. I technically, because we're playing expanded and I'm playing this resource management Oranguru, I actually have an infinite number of copies of Guzma. So instead of having 3
Damn
or
it,
4
it
in the
reminds
deck,
me
just
of
do one.
Pack Rat and Magic.
It's great. You're going to see this. All of the cards in my deck actually have infinite numbers of copies of. So, Computer Search. Discard 2 cards, search for any card in your deck. Great.
Busted ass
I can
card.
explain that any further. 2 Nest Balls. Go search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it on your bench. I can go search for Seismitoad, Oranguru, Skrelp. I've searched for Tapu before just so I can attack with it. I wouldn't suggest it because you don't get the Wonder Tag if you use Nest Ball, but it works. So 2 Nest Ball. We have 4 Ultra Ball because we need to get our Sevipers up as quickly as possible. So discard 2 cards, go search for any Pokemon. Now you can see that this card I only run 1 of. Why not just run 4 of that instead of 4 Ultra Balls? So it's an Ace Spec card. You're only allowed to have a singular Ace Spec card in the deck. So there's like 4 or 5 different ones. I chose to use this one, simply because searching through this deck is more important than anything. And it has an amazing synergy with Skyla. So.
How much is this going for?
We're running 4 copy of Versus Seeker. So Versus Seeker allows you to put a supporter card from your discard pile back into your hand. Then you could just use it. So that's why I have this infinite number of copies of Guzma and Lysander. Actually, I try to get as many supporters in the discard as possible so that I can just VS Seeker to them and get to choose exactly which one I'm going to use. So this is pretty cool. So 4 VS Seeker. We run 2 Field Blower to get rid of my opponent's choice bands and Klefkis, especially Klefkis. Screw Klefki. Hate that card. So Get rid of them. It's good. I also take out Skyfield with this and Parallel City, which is great. 1 copy of Rescue Structure. Now here goes the infinite loop, right? Go take any 3 cards from your discard pile, put them back in your deck. So you put this back in your deck. Then they kill your Oranguru. It goes to the discard pile. So you play this, pick up the Oranguru, put it back in your hand, put it back down, and then reflush that to the deck. But in the process, you can get 2 other cards back in your deck as well. So that's the infinite combo, as you can see, that allows me to have an infinite number of cards, copies of cards. And that's why I don't need to run large copies of a lot of cards.
Oh, Lord. Okay, gotcha.
Special charge. I can pick up 2 special energies from my discard pile and shove them back in the deck. Now remember, we're only running 4 energies, so it's kind of important that when they're gone, we get them back. Otherwise, we lose the game. I run 1 copy of Switch. I run 2 copies of Floatstone. So 2 copies of Floatstone is to help this big retreat problem I have. A lot of my Pokemon have 2 retreat costs, 3 retreat costs. Floatstone says they have no retreat cost, which is fantastic. So I could just free retreat everyone. I run 3 copies of Poison Barb. If the Pokemon that Poison Barb is attached to is damaged by an attack, the opponent's Pokemon is poisoned. Oh, that's great.
Should really run those in here.
Huh?
Should really run
Yeah.
those in here.
So that's one way to poison my opponent. I've Hypnotoxic Laser. Got 4 of those. Well, that's more ways to poison my opponent. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. That's it. Flip a coin. If heads, they're also asleep. Great.
I actually watched you play this on somebody last week.
Just stop them, like right
And I'm
in their
just,
tracks.
and I sat here dumbfounded as, so it's just, no, you can't play Pokemon today. So no retreat, you're sleep, and you're poisoned.
Yep. There you go. We run 4 copies of Burbank City Gem. Any poison Pokemon takes 2 extra damage counters. And our Meek Energy line of 4 double colorless energy. So let's see what the maximum damage output of the deck is, right? So we have Seismitoad, does 30 damage with Quaking Punch, right? If we poison him with Hypnotoxic Laser or Poison Barb beforehand, and we have Verbank down and Force of Vipers, then we're actually doing 100 damage every Quaking Punch, right? So, Tapu Lele, if you're hitting a Pokemon that has 3 energy attached, which isn't uncommon, her energy drive move does a base of 100 damage. Now, if they're poisoned, they take the 1 damage counter, the 4 from Seviper, the 2 from Furbank, and now you're at 170 damage. So, yeah, we can hit 170 damage with this deck. It doesn't happen often, but when it happens, we get real happy about it. And yeah, my opponent just doesn't get to attack. They don't get to really play the game. It's pretty fun. They just do nothing. And I just have like a 50 card deck while they have an 8 card deck. It's great.
It's great.
It's fantastic. I want to run a Macargo in this, the new Macargo GX. I got, for 1 energy, your opponent just discards the top 5 cards of their deck. This is nuts. It's just like, say goodbye to all those cards, my guy. God. It'd be just funny, and then I can, well, I can't, because I don't run any basic energy. Never mind, Macargo GX is garbage. Alright, that's the deck.
Can we say the one glaring weakness?
Yeah, I need a triple A's.
What is the one glaring weakness?
When do you ever have
One
triple A's?
giant weakness.
I'm like, dude, who even has this? I'm like,
You gonna have to talk up.
No, your energy count. What's your one giant weakness that God forbid he's inactive and you can't get him out? You only have the double colorless, right?
Yeah.
Circuitry.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't have to worry about Zerkatry. I'll poison him.
next door. Only if someone comes in.
Yeah. And then I'll just use a Ringaroo.
That's still gonna be a problem.
It's still gonna be a problem.
Somebody's got
Let's just put it this way. I'm not going to win the game by taking all 6 prize cards. I agree with you on that, Alex. I'm just saying I'll deck the fool out. And whatever they rumbling wires over, my Oranguru will pick it right back up. I dare you. Come into me with Circuitry.
I mean, literally, just because the fact that it's all double.
It is all double colorless. This is true. I'm also running Ninja Boy, though. That's a pretty big weakness. I tried to compensate for it with Acerola, though. I don't have Ninja Boy.
Oh, I thought you said you don't or you do. I was like,
No, I'm not running Ninja Boy. I think that's probably the biggest weakness. I could be running Ninja Boy to swap my Tapu Lele's back into the deck and immediately go find my Oranguru or my Scrub or my Survivor or whatever.
It should have been worth. It should have been worth.
Oops.
800 bucks back worth it. Yeah, but it's not worth it.
I think he's alright.
That's the thing.
Hey, it'll be alright,
The new
though.
ones, the only cards
Alright.
that are worth
And who
it.
knows? Maybe if you like and subscribe and hit the bell enough, maybe he'll change it.
Well, there you go.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Part 2 is going to be me coming in here with Seismitoad and Garbodor. Turn off all your abilities and prevent you from using item cards.
CJ's Fuck You Deck
Hey.
379.
What'd you get?
Coming soon.
Hey, you see the other ones I had
So
there?
we got.
Yeah, I saw them.
No, nothing else to say, man.
No, it's
Yeah,
annoying.
you
I hate
get
this
them on a
deck.
regular basis?
Oh,
Why do you
That's a
hate
brand
the
new one,
deck?
just came out.
Because I have to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
it, and then
You want
people
me to
start
put your
hating me for it.
subscription
Lost so many friendships.
There's a reason why this deck is called what again, Alex?
CJ's Fuck You Deck 378.
You know,
It's now evolved. It went from asshole deck to fuck you deck.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
Literally in 15 minutes, it's gone from asshole to fuck you.
Well, when you explain it the way you do, yeah. I didn't realize there were so many other ways you could fuck your day with this deck. We got rid of all monetization, whatever, however you pronounce that word.
No, you got it
Like
right.
80 F-bombs throughout this video. This could have been for the kids, man.
It could have been for. I don't think the kids want to run this deck. This deck is crazy.
I don't think most adults want to run this deck.
Yeah, you need to
Somebody like me would probably run this just because
I'll tell you the
this
other-
is right up. This is some douchebaggery up my alley.
So my other main weakness with this deck actually is that I have this Skyla, you know, and there's a much more adorable full art Skyla to have, but I just can't find anyone who has it.
Oh no, I like that Skylar one, brother.
Oh, I like the other one, dude. It's so adorable.
So why is that a weakness?
Oh, just because my deck doesn't look as cool as it could.
Ah,
When you get somebody
the,
with cute cards, there's just a little added spice to it.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
so full levels of douchebaggery is what he's trying to say.
Oh yeah.
Full
Give me the
rarity
chance,
and
dude.
douchebaggery, huh?
Give me the chance. I'm gonna swag this deck all the way out. They better make a full art hypnotoxic laser. I need
They
4
never
of them.
will.
They never will.
They never will.
They do that, it's over, huh?
That means it has to be reintroduced to the game right now in the current game state, and then it's over. Yeah, I completely agree. Don't reprint the toxic laser right now. We have no way to stop that card. That card will completely wreck us. It's better than Kukui. It really is.
All right, well, that is the deck profiling discussion for what was your name for it again, CJ?
Oh, the giant toads take over National Poison Control.
Are you guys looking for anything in particular?
All right, again, this is Nightmare with Twisted Nightmare Gaming, and once again, Alex has another message for you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell button 3 times, not 2 times, 3.
3 times.
3. He said, you heard from the man himself.
And we'll be right back with another profile in just a couple of minutes here. Later, guys.